Well, hello again and welcome back. If this is your first time with us, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you taking a minute to give us a listen here. You are tuned in to Choose to Endure, the show dedicated to the back of the pack runners, where we share stories, interviews, gear, and training tips specific to the tail end heroes of the Ultra universe. If you haven't had a moment to do so yet, please consider heading over to your favorite podcast app, hit follow, rate the show, and if you're getting something of value, leave a review and let others know. My name's Richard Gleave. I've been running ultras since 2017, and I have taken on and finished numerous ultra distances at this point, all the way up through 220 miles. And I will say I'm unashamedly a member of the back of the pack, just like many of you maybe who are listening today. So on this episode, we are going to dive into one of the most unique and possibly one of the most emotional experiences in ultra running. And that, my friends, is finishing DFL, or last, as it's commonly known. And typically when you finish last, you may also be finishing during the golden hour. And this is the final stretch of a race, usually the last hour, where grit, determination, and community come together in a way that's really nothing short of magical and perfectly okay to do. So for back of the pack runners, finishing last just isn't about failure. It's about perseverance, heart, and crossing that finish line on your own terms. In this episode, we're going to explore what makes that golden hour so special, share a few stories that try to capture its magic, and discuss why finishing last is really more of a badge of honor. So let's get into it.
Discover raw, inspiring stories from runners who've been right where you are. This is the Choose to Endure Ultra Running Podcast. With your host,
he's English, not Australian,
Richard Gleave.
Okay, so let's kick off by going into what is golden hour. A golden hour, if you aren't aware, refers to the final stretch of a race, the hour right before the final cutoff time. For many races, if you watch, this is probably the most emotionally charged time of the whole event. While the winners may have crossed the finish line hours, and in some cases even days earlier, the golden hour, that last hour of the race, that's where the heart of ultra running really shines, in my opinion. It's where volunteers, race directors, fellow runners, all the crowd, they all gather back together again to cheer on those final finishers and help celebrate their perseverance and their determination to get over the line before the race cutoff. It's absolutely fantastic, and it'll make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. The golden hour is a reminder for me that ultra running isn't just about speed or podium spots. And I say this a lot, but it's about the journey. It's about the struggle and the triumph of ordinary people completing something incredibly difficult. The finish line during that golden hour often has more emotion and more support than at any other time. Everybody is going to be rooting for you because they know how hard you've worked to get there. If you've ever watched the golden hour at Western States on the live feed, it's incredible. I remember watching final finishers cross that line last year with just seconds to spare. The crowd's going wild. Pacers are on the track there in Auburn. Everybody's cheering people in. Everybody's willing these folks to get over the line before the clock ticks over. You can see the sheer joy and the relief on the runner's face. These moments just capture absolutely everything I love about ultra running and the sport in general. The celebration of effort, the celebration of individual resilience, and the community aspect of people pulling you over that finish line when you think you've got absolutely nothing left to give. It's really, really incredible. And I would say, if you've never done it, even if you aren't racing a race, go stand at the finish line of a big event like Western States or maybe Cocodona or some of these other big events. If you can watch them online, do that too. Just go watch that golden hour, the last hour. It's absolutely incredible. But for a minute, let's also talk about the unique experience of being a back-of-the-pack runner like we may be and finishing last. So there are some challenges there. Finishing last is often going to mean that you've been on the course for hours or days longer than those front runners. That's a lot of time to manage physical fatigue, mental lows, and unpredictable weather. Knowing you're close to cutoffs can add some extra stress as well. So every step is going to feel like a race against the clock. And back-of-the-pack runners often spend, as I know very well from the Swami Shuffle, long stretches of time alone, and that can be really mentally challenging. But there are some plus sides to finishing last as well. It often means you're going to get the loudest cheers and the warmest welcome at the finish line. People, especially people in the ultra world who are more likely to be at the finish line, plus any friends, family, or crew that you've had with you along the way, they recognize the grit it takes to keep going and to make it all the way through. Spending more time on the course also means more opportunities to connect with volunteers, soak in the scenery, take some pictures, take some video, really and truly experience being in the race and in that location for a longer amount of time than the race leaders are going to get as they're running through pretty quickly. You get to really soak all that in and be in that place and time, really understand that. And then there's the personal victory side of things, crossing the finish line, no matter what your place in an event, is testament to your determination and strength. If you're going to be the last finisher, instead of focusing on the clock or the fact that you're last, focus on just enjoying the journey. Chat with the aid station volunteers. Take in the view. Savor every step. When you eventually cross that finish line, the cheers are going to be deafening. There'll always be people there welcoming you in. You're going to feel like a champion anyway, right? So just let it be. Embrace finishing last. It's really cool when you do that. Don't worry about it. Actually, I would say finishing last may even be a badge of honor. I think sometimes when you talk to people, there seems to be a stigma around finishing last. But for me, at least, the truth is, I still think it's something to be incredibly proud of. It shows resilience. Finishing last means you didn't give up, even when the things got tough. And they always do get tough in an ultra race. That doesn't matter if it's a 50K or 200 miles. Things always get tough. You finished. You didn't give up. You pushed through every obstacle and you refused to quit. I think that embodies the spirit of ultra running. For us, this sport isn't just about speed. It's about perseverance, grit, and the willingness to endure. That's why the podcast is called Choose to Endure, because that's what we're trying to encourage you to do. Back of the pack runners, last place finishers, we embody these qualities, I think, more than anyone else. And it inspires others. Watching somebody cross that finish line in the golden hour is often more inspiring than seeing the winner come across. It reminds everyone that, while the winners are blessed with natural talent and are phenomenal athletes, the real victory is in showing up, trying your best, and never giving up. I know in a 100-mile race that I crossed the finish line with about, 14 minutes to spare. This is a 34-hour race in the Peak District in England. And of the 100 people that signed up, I think it was 17 or 18 finished due to the bad weather in that race. I was the last finisher. That's the race that I remember most because I snuck in just in front of the race cutoff, 14 minutes before the 34-hour cutoff, and I was DFL. I was the last person on that course, and I remember it vividly. I remember running through the town of Buxton where the finish line was. It was a beautiful day. the second day of the race for me. I'd run through the night, horrendous weather. And I was running through Buxton and just looking around, and all these people moving around doing their daily thing. Had no idea that I'd been out since the morning before running around the Peak District. It was just a wonderful sensation to be running through there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, although not too much because I wanted to get to the finish. But it reminded me while I was doing it why this sport is so special. Now, if you're a back-of-the-pack runner or you find yourself close to the cutoff in a future race, definitely try to embrace this golden hour experience. Stay positive. Focus on what you've accomplished, not how much farther you have to go. Think of it as every step is a victory, right? And then lean on your support system too. So whether that's fellow runners, it could be pacers that you have, or it could even be aid station volunteers. Just let other people lift you up when you're struggling. Make an effort to talk to people. Make an effort to smile and laugh if you can. Sing a song. All these things will help you get through. And use them to celebrate your journey. Take time, as I did in Buxton at the end of the Peak District 100, to appreciate the effort, the scenery, and the community around you. The golden hour, that last hour, is about more than just crossing the finish line. It's about feeling that entire experience. And then when you do get to the finish line, no matter how tired you are, this is ultra running, right? So you have to give it everything you've got for those final steps. And you know, too, the energy at that finish line will carry you through. And if we're being totally honest, you know there's going to be a photographer at the finishing line. So you don't want to walk over the finish line, do you? You want to sprint over the finish line. And that reminds me of my friend, Coach Vicky Allen. Hey, Vicky. I was watching her at the Sedona 125 last year, and I was watching on the live stream, and she'd gone around the whole course and then turned into Cocodona Alley there in Flagstaff and literally sprinted as fast as she could across the finish line, which cracked me up. All that time and then a sprint across the finish on a 125-miler. But that's what you got to do. That was brilliant. I loved it. Look at all the energy that brought. And the finish line photos, I think that was terrific. So yeah, focus on enjoying the experience, cheer on other runners, thank the volunteers, soak in the scenery. And I promise you, when you cross that finish line, the support of the crowd will make every moment of struggle worth it. So, to recap, here are 4 key takeaways about golden hour and finishing last. Number 1, the golden hour is a celebration of resilience, determination, and the spirit of ultra running. Go find a golden hour and go stand at or watch it on a live stream. I promise you, you will not regret that experience. Number 2, finishing last comes with unique challenges, but it can also offer unmatched rewards, from the support of the community to the personal victory of crossing the finish line. Number 3, finishing last is not a failure. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It is a badge of honor that embodies everything this sport is about. DFL is brilliant. Number 4, embrace the experience. Focus on the journey and finish strong, like Coach Vicky. You're inspiring everyone around you when you do that. I promise you, people will take notice. And there'll be other people that look at you doing that and think, wow, if they can do that, I can do that too. And that's really what we're trying to get to. So there's your 4 key takeaways for this episode. Now, I'd love to hear from you too. Do you have a golden hour or final finish story? Share it on social media, tag Choose to Endure or this episode. Whether it's a moment of triumph, a lesson learned, or a memory of the support you received, your story can inspire others in the Back of the Pack community. Let's celebrate those moments together. If these takeaways resonate with you and you're ready to take the next step in your training journey, maybe let's keep the conversation going. And if you're out browsing the internet, don't forget to subscribe to the show. We've got all sorts going on, from little videos to blog posts to a really excellent website. If you subscribe, you'll get notified each time a new episode drops. And if you're enjoying what you hear, again, follow, share, and leave a review. That would mean the world to me. Your support helps grow the podcast, connects more runners to this amazing ultra community, and spreads the word to those who could benefit from information that we share right here. If you're interested, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Choose to Endure, or visit us anytime at choosetoendure.com. I would love to hear from you, whether it's to say hello, suggest a topic, or to share your story. You can also email me directly at info@choosetoendure.com. Interacting with listeners just like you is one of my favorite parts of doing the show, so don't be shy about reaching out and shooting me a message. Until next time, run long, run strong, don't be afraid to finish last, and keep choosing to endure.